may wave them annoyingly in the faces of our rivals.
In your face.
They're enormous, yes, yet one size fits all. Brilliant.
Raise them to the sky now.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Foam Finger Maker, and know we speak for sports fans everywhere when we say, no, you're number one.
Giant foam finger maker.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Professional Figure Skater.
Mr. Professional Figure Skater.
While lesser men strapped on skates and played hockey, you don skin-tight leotards and a teeny cowboy hat and learn figure eights.
Going round and round.
You practiced and practiced, hoping, knowing, someday you'd be good enough to wear a giant puppet costume and skate in an ice show.
Welcome to the big time.
Skate perfectly and you're a crowd pleaser. Mess up and fall on your butt, and you're still a crowd pleaser.
Oh!
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Titan of the Tights. You may never wear a medal, but sequins are shiny too.
Mr. Professional Figure Skater.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, you need puff, puff, puff to make a puffer nutter. Marshmallow puff and lots of peanut butter. First you spread, spread, spread your bread with peanut butter and marshmallow puff and have a puffer nutter. When you enjoy, joy, joy your puff and peanut butter, you're glad you have enough for another puffer nutter.
You are listening to the best of Tony Bruno. For full shows on demand, subscribe to the Tony Bruno Network on your favorite podcast app like iTunes, Apple, and more. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the... You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno... You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio. He perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You're listening to Tony Bruno Sports Network. Tony didn't invent sports radio, he perfected it. There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting, and now it's here. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
Welcome to the Absolute Shit Show. What's up,
all right,
Jeff?
good morning, Kuwait. What's up, Al Khair?
Whoa, what was that?
So far I said that right. That's good morning to people in Kuwait.
Dude, Homeland Security's going to be kicking. Jack Bauer's going to kick your door down any minute, man. Yeah.
I practiced. Listen, I got it from many different sources, okay? So I got it right. I'm confident. So come at me, bro. Come at me if you don't like it. No, we love you guys. We're ready, man.
Speak for yourself.
What happened to your? What happened? We didn't get pushed off at the right time.
I don't know. They forgot to program it for. I have no idea, man.
Shame.
I have no idea.
Shame. Know your name.
Yeah. All right. So I got the phone lines up. We got
the request lines.
The request lines. Yes.
Open.
Yes. I scored a wedding gig. I'm doing a wedding and a bar mitzvah next weekend.
No way.
But they want Luch to come and actually to be the mid-wedding entertainment. They want him to break dance.
Yeah,
do the chicken dance.
That's he's got to bring in the cardboard box.
He might do it because that's how Luch rolls. So you're listening to the Bleacher Brothers Show. You're watching the Bleacher Brothers Show. We are on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X, and the more technical issues with our streamer because we should be on our website. And I sent them an email and they told me it was fixed, and then it wasn't fixed when I went to do it. So I got to crack some fucking heads. You know what I mean?
Yo, and I wasn't on last night, but I did catch the last of it. I went to the website. It let me go for a while, and then it stopped, so I had to go over to YouTube. So, hey, it's like any show. You got to iron out the kinks. We're getting there.
YouTube works.
Yes.
Facebook works. X works. Twitch works. Oh, all right, Jeff. We got to get right into because we're behind schedule now because of that snafu. So we got to get right to your NHL parlay locking. Could you have sent me a longer pick last night? It took me like 30 minutes to get that thing out to you, buddy. Did it hit? Did any of it hit?
Some stuff hit. So I didn't group it. I decided to go separate, and good thing because if I did, I would have lost it by one, as we always do these parlays. So I got I think the Kings game wrong. So they ended up winning, but I'm going tonight. This is one of the greatest games. I try to make it to where we're on here at 8 o'clock Eastern. So these games just about to start. Bruins, Oilers. I mean, come on, man. Can you ask for a better game? One of the best teams in the East versus the West. I'll wrap it up real quick. You're gonna go.
You're good.
You're gonna go Oilers on this one. Oilers are just cruising, and if anything, I already put future on Vancouver just because it looked like a value pick, like plus 1,100. I'm like, just like $5 for a future for them to win it all. Somebody out of the West is probably going to win it. If not, like the Rangers or the Bruins might surprise people and get hot and have a chance. But to me, it's like could be Colorado, could be Vancouver. Don't count out even the Kraken. So other than that, let's go the next one. CBJ, right? Columbus at the Ducks. Come on, man, hammer the CBJs. Okay, and of course, like as usual, even at home, you know your boys Coyotes. It's not like they've hit a bad beat or whatever. It's just they just haven't been playing up to their style or something. It's just like they're missing. So even at home, I got the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs are, they're pretty legit. They should kind of squeak in there on the wild card. So go ahead and take that. It's not a lock. None of these are locks, but I do like if you gotta lock something, maybe that CBJ at the Ducks.
All right, I got a lock.
All right,
okay.
What you do?
I got a lock. The lock is better. BETR. You can go to bleacherbrothers.com. The banner is right at the top of our website. Click on it. Open up a new account. It's got to be a new account. On your very first bet, up to $250, they'll give you your money back. How do I know this for sure? Because I opened up a better account yesterday. And like an idiot, I only bet $25. I should have bet all the money that I put in, which was only $100 because they said they would give it back. I lost the bet for $25, which it was a bet. Now, I live in a state where you can only bet through Hard Rock, but somehow this let me do a prop because that's what this is. They're calling it fantasy, but it's a prop. It was a 2-player prop bet, and I lost. And then this morning I woke up, and the money was back in my account. So here's what's cool. So I still don't know what I'm doing. I need to spend some time on this app and figure it out, but I figured, well, let me get some action in tonight. So only $10 because it's hockey. There's no basketball going on. I got M. Frost, center for the Flyers. I need him to get 1 point. It's half point. It's the over-under is half. I need more than a half a point out of him. And then here's a great one. I got R. Dallin, who I don't know who Sabres. It looks like they don't tell you that. You got to kind of look at the helmets and try to figure it out. But here it is, more than 2.5 hits. And that's it. So $10, and it's going to pay me $30.
Okay.
How is that fantasy? I'm not playing against anyone else. But it doesn't matter. I'll figure out how the hell there's a loophole here where I can bet props on this thing.
Sure.
If this is the definition of fantasy now, then fine. It works for me because you watch
weird glitch, but hey, I'll take it.
Watch what I do in basketball. There was is my screener screening because I saw there was a call, and then it dropped. So Tom's on screening tonight. If you call, and it stops ringing, and all you hear is. You definitely have the right number. That's Tom. He's screening the calls tonight, all right? But if you want to call into the show, the number is 352-234-8669. That's 352-234-8669. So we're going to figure this better thing out. But I'm going to tell you what's an absolute winner on this thing is better itself. Because if you got something that you love, go in there, put $250 in, bet it. The way I'm seeing this is so far, the 2 bets I made, they're both paying 3-1 odds. So $250. Let's see. I don't have that many fingers, but Steven, help me out. What are 3-1 odds? Give me on 2. He put his fingers up. 3-1 odds. If I bet $250, how much am I going to get back? That's like $4,000, right? He's shaking his. He's going like this. He's not sure. He's got a calculator out. He's got an abacus.
He's a calculator.
He's got Teddy Ruxpin. He's asking Teddy Ruxpin right now.
Oh, what up, Teddy Ruxpin? Yeah, baby.
They pay $750. 3-1. So if you have one, if I put one in, I'm going to get 3 back. That's just 2 more fingers. Got it? Now, if you put one in, I'm sorry. If you put one in, anyway.
Hey.
So better is legit. I love better. And if you're in a state like Florida, like I am, and you're tied to who the hell are we tied to? Hard Rock Bets or whatever it's called. Sports Bet. Hard Rock Bet. Well, download Better because DraftKings is not giving you fantasy action like Better's given me so far. And they'll give you $250 back on your first bet. So find something that you love, load up on it, or go in the opening account today. But don't go straight to Better. Go to bleachbrothers.com, click on the link because that's how you get the $250 back. And we get friends all over the place. It's not just Better. Bet365, when they come up with a new special promo, I'll let you know about it. We got BetMGM. FanDuel, Bet Rivers. That just sounds straight up Mississippi, Louisiana to me, Bet Rivers, doesn't it?
I know. I'm like, or Joan Rivers, like Bet Joan Rivers. No.
Yeah.
No. This is great. Of course, if you do have a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER, must be 21 or older. And of course, you probably do already. So that's why you get on this show. I'm telling you, we might give you something that might pay a bill. I've been guilty of that once or twice, like taking some advice from somebody across the country, AJ. And
I hit it 90% on basketball.
Pretty good.
You picked the one that lost.
And that's the thing. I ran into the guy Jakel Powell. We got to have him on our show eventually, but like he's like another sharp. He's like out there in Vegas, and he's a younger guy, so. Like that'd be great to see, like you guys go head to head on some of these NBA bets and stuff, just to see.
Hey, Pete Shepard wanted to do that. You know how that ended for him, right? He ended up.
Oh, I know. But this guy's got the
puking for 2 days.
I know. He's got the name. This guy, like Jeff Parles, like parlay. Are you kidding me? Like, no, he couldn't have a better profession. I think so. At least we gotta cruise him in there once or twice, especially we were in Vegas. Like he's funny. But
right.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see these better bets, yo.
All right, so I fixed the problem of me forgetting to say if you have a gambling problem, it's now on the ticker. So it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
No problem.
So, hey, we got some bullets because the show has just been so jam-packed the last 2 days, and it's jam-packed tonight. In mere moments, the Lastella Report kicks in.
That's right.
Robbie Lastella, our college sports guru, he's got a guest tonight. He's got an FAU. Now, this would have been much more hypeable before Sunday. We'll talk about Sunday a little bit later on.
Right.
But anyway, we got an FAU basketball player. Robbie's going to talk to. I'm not gonna spoil any of that, but Robbie's going to bring him on in just a few minutes. Before we get to that, Jeff, I got some bullet points here of some articles, some headlines, some things that are wrong in the world. Okay,
or
some things that we may not know. Just have to turn off. Talk to configuration on talent. Yeah, I can't do any of that right now, Tom. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Did you see these new MLB jerseys?
Oh yeah, everybody hates them.
Yeah,
right?
Have you seen the names on the back? They're like this big.
Yeah, what'd they do?
I don't know, but apparently Tony Clark, not Tony the Tiger, but Tony Clark,
I remember him,
ex-MLB player,
the Tigers,
and not just the Tigers,
the Yankees, wasn't it?
Yeah, he played on the Yankees also. Yeah. I don't think he was any good when he was on the Yankees, but he did
play. That's how everybody, when they get them when they're old. So, sorry, Robbie, that's his team.
Who, the Tigers?
No, Robbie's a Yankee fan. Like you're a pretend that you're not a Yankee fan, but you like secretly are probably, AJ.
You're a Yankee fan?
Yeah, you're probably like a secret Yankee fan.
I got Philly. Hold on. Underneath it. Welcome to New York, buddy.
Oh no! Oh,
yeah. I got cold, so I had to dig this Philly thing out here.
That's an outrage. I knew it. What did I say?
I haven't made my decision yet. I already told Bill. I told Bill Perkins that I haven't made my decision yet. And he's the authority on who to tell and who not to tell. So, Tom, what you're asking me to do is not even in there, buddy. So, okay, talk back to talent. Turn it It was turned off, Tom. So I don't know what's up. So anyway, yeah. The actual Players Association is in sort of like they're on a rampage about these jerseys, and they want them fixed. They want the old jerseys back. But apparently, there's millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars invested in these jerseys now. So what do they do?
I don't know what they do.
And why do they have to try to outsmart themselves? I mean, did you play Little League or high school baseball or anything?
I played baseball up all the way into college. Yeah.
Do you remember the old uniforms with the elastic pants?
Of course. Oh,
what is more comfortable than elastic pants?
They were good. Yeah. I mean, of course, ours were. I remember the first ones I wore were just hideous, but
But they were comfortable, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could slide, slide and all that. That's what you were trying to do. You're trying to I would slide feet first. I didn't want to mess up the hands.
Oh, you're one of those. You would be like George Costanza. You gonna be a hand model now, or what?
Pop-up slide, right? Don't you know about the pop-up slide? Because there could be especially at these levels, they're making bad throws. You better pop up and get ready to run.
The point, though,
anyway,
was that they should have left the elastic pants from the 70s. I live my life in elastic pants.
Yes.
I do. Weddings and funerals, and I really don't go to funerals, and really I don't go to weddings. So I live my life in elastic pants.
Dude, even jeans, they're stretchy old jeans and stuff, right?
Oh, that's just straight up.
That's cheating, but.
Yeah, cheating. I don't know. That's a little bit on the fruity side to me, but I don't judge whatever it is. The Mets are already screwed. So their pitch. How do you say this guy's name? Senga. Yeah, he's got arm problems already. He had to sit out. So the games haven't even spring training games haven't. He hasn't even pitched his one inning yet in spring training.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and he's already got problems. I got NFL news. You know that I'm sick and tired of NFL.
Oh, my goodness. Stuff. What are you doing?
So Russell Wilson put his $25 million Colorado mansion up for sale.
Saw that, man.
And then Ocho Cinco came out last night and said he has inside information that it's already a done deal and that Russell Wilson will be quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. What do you think about that?
I could see it. He's not that bad. They just really didn't. Broncos really didn't have much of a team. They had a little bit of a defense, but it was just if he gets, they're kind of they got a running back, they got a receiver, so I like it.
I wouldn't want Russell Wilson quarterback on my team.
No, but for the Steelers, it seems like it might be okay. I wouldn't want him on my team either, but who do they got? What are they gonna get? There's talks about I forget what was it? The Bears quarterback getting traded to Daniel Jones. Sorry, Robbie. Again, I'm killing you on your teams tonight, but I saw that report.
What about Zach Wilson? Would you rather have Zach Wilson as your quarterback, or would you rather have Russell Wilson?
Probably.
Or would you rather have Wilson from that Castaway movie with Tom Hanks as your
Wilson?
quarterback?
Or like Wilson the neighbor from Home Improvement, right?
Yeah.
Righty-ho, neighbor.
That's what Luch looks like in our new screensaver there, because Wilson, you never saw his face, right? You only saw the top of his head.
That's right.
And that's Luch on our new promo.
Oh, my God.
So, look, I got to tell you the truth, bro. I've been depressed for the past few days. And, no, seriously, I've been depressed. I was thinking of talking to somebody.
All right.
But then I realized, who do I talk to? You, Luker, Tom, Robbie. I ain't going to talk to you idiots. I mean, what are you guys going to do? You guys are going to set me backwards. But
oh, yeah.
Can I tell you why I'm depressed? Or why I was depressed, but now I'm snapped out of it?
Oh, really? I like how you operate then. You get depressed and get right back up. Let's go.
No, it took a few days.
Yeah, okay.
So I think this was Sunday, maybe Monday, because the kid was home on Monday. It was a 4-day weekend, President's Day, something, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So I walk in from wherever, probably here, and she's sitting at the kitchen table. She's eating and she's playing. She's got a computer chess. I saw you playing chess. She goes, yeah, I'm playing with my friend. Yeah. I'm not going to say his name. But this kid's a genius. So I'm like, oh, and my kid's really, really, really smart too. She's borderline genius, but I'm sure every parent says that about their kid. But anyway, so I said, all right, good. So I go in the room, and 2 minutes later, she's in there. She's like, hey, can you play against him? And I was like, yeah, I'll school this kid.
Yep.
So then she starts telling me, well, he took chess lessons from a chess master, and he's really good. And I'm pretty good at chess.
Yeah, me too.
And so I was attacking this dude from all angles. I figured, you know what, I took my rook and I put him over here. So I tried to, I trapped my rook so he'd take it, and I figured he'll fall for that, and I'll come around the other side. Well, he got my rook, and he blocked me on the other side. And I gave the phone back to my kid when I had nothing left but a king and one pawn. I was like, here, you finish this game.
Whoa.
Yeah, this kid kicked my ass. So I was very, very, very depressed about that. But then I came across this article earlier today. If I could find this article real fast. Where the hell is this article? It is, this is great. It was, nope, that's not it. That might be it. Friggin'
Yeah, I know.
pop-ups.
I saw the story too, man. I think it's
It was an 8-year-old. Nope, that's not it. This is my
Yeah.
last screen. Yeah, 8-year-old
8-year-old.
prodigy.
Yep.
Ashwath Kushik. Dude, that dude definitely knows people in Kuwait. I'm
That's
I'm
what I
going
mean.
on
Like,
record right now with
Our
that.
brothers in Kuwait, they know. They're playing chess right now when they wake up.
8-year-old makes history after beating chess grandmaster.
Yeah, that's big.
So look out, there's another chess prodigy on the scene. He's 8.5 years old. So he's actually older than 8. He's 8 years, 6 months, and 11 days old. Made history on Sunday by becoming the youngest player ever to beat a chess grandmaster in a classical tournament game. The youngster, who lives in Singapore, achieved the feat after beating Poland's Jakel Stampa, who's 37, in round 4 of. Oh God, why is this? I'm gonna sound like somebody else we know. Bergdorfer Stadterhaus Open in Switzerland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you've been there, right?
Well,
Who hasn't?
heard of it. I
Yeah.
subscribe to the Chess Federation of America.
So this cheered me up because I don't claim to be a grandmaster.
No.
But I claim to be pretty good, and I figure, you know what? Yeah, anytime I can beat up on an 8-year-old, because at my age and in my condition, I'm not beating up on very many people.
I want to know if it ever said. I was trying to read it. Like, what kind of opening did he use, or was he going straight? Some of these guys, they study. And they make them study backwards. It's the 20-40-40 rule. I don't know if you ever knew that in chess, where you study openings 20% of the times, mid game 40% of the time, and then end game 40% of the time. So you could have the best opening ever, but not know some of the trades, some of the values, in chess. But I taught chess to little kids, just as an after school program. It was just extra money. And so we had dude was big, man. He was 12 years old and is tall. I'm not that tall. I'm 5'10" with some good shoes, right? And then so this guy was tall, and of course his dad was super tall. And he's like, yeah, he wants to get into a super group. I'm like, yeah, man, because that's extra money right there for us. No, man, he wiped not just me, another teacher. And these guys are, I'm just an expert. I'm not a master. I just got up to close to my 2000 ranking. I got kicked back down, and I just live in that 1800 area. You know what I'm saying? So I believe it. When you tell me an 8-year-old, I've seen these kids and they play speed chess. It's nope. But then
How I learned to play was with limited pieces on the boards. You have all your pawns, you get your king, a queen, and then just rooks.
Yeah.
Or just, bishops, or, just horses, or, whatever. And that was good. I'm a master. I am a grandmaster with my knights or my horses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was not my horse from the chess game running down I-95. That was confirmed Uncle Ernie yesterday. So, all right. So Jeff, here's what we got to do. We got to go to this. We got to go to this break now. Okay. Because then when we come back, you and I get to take a break after that.
Okay.
We're going to start the Lastella Report, and Robbie's got a great guest. So let's see what goes haywire when we try to go to a commercial break. But everybody just hold your breath, and we'll be back hopefully right after this.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to say C4.
You're listening to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Bowling Shoe Giver-Outer.
Mr. Bowling Shoe Giver-Outer.
Your tireless efforts keep our feet comfy and sanitized with mountain freshness.
Mountain freshness.
Instinctively, you match left shoe with right, carefully placing each pair in its own tiny shoe house.
Check the number on the back.
One wrong move, and we're on the fast train to Blisterville. Is he a 9.5 or a 10?
Yeah.
You know. Why? Because you're Mr. Bowling Shoe Giver-Outer.
We couldn't move without you.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, mister, and know it's no accident those shoes are red, white, and blue.
No, we couldn't move without.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I love Baco. It's rich in chocolate tea. Chocolate flavored Baco is mighty good for me. Mama puts it in my milk for extra energy. Baco gives me iron and sunshine vitamin D. Oh, I love Baco. That's the drink for me.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Floors, doors, walls, halls, white sidewall tires, and old golf balls.
Sinks, stoves, bathtubs he'll do. He'll even help clean laundry too.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Can he clean a kitchen sink?
Quicker than a wink.
Can he clean a window sash?
Faster than a flash.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clear.
Now, back to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
I'm alright. Nobody but about me. Why you got to give me a fight? Can't you just let it be? I'm alright. Don't nobody but about me.
Everybody's still here.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody got hurt
No,
during
we're
the.
here.
All right. Thank you. A fire did break out. Robbie stomped it out, though.
We're good. We got it.
Took one of my Yankee hats. He's like, "You don't need this Yankee hat."
Oh,
Stomped it
man.
out. So
I told you we're killing him on his teams tonight, man. What you got for us? You got some fire to shoot back or what?
I got some fire content for us tonight. That's for
All
sure.
right. Of course you do.
he does. So Robbie, we got a lot to talk to you about tonight. After your first segment,
Yep.
so look at you, man. You were like Baba Booey when we started doing this 2 months ago, and now you're running your own segment. You're kicking us off our own show, man.
Hey, man, FAU's so big. We just we're taking over. We're taking over the Bleacher Brothers show, too, one step at a time.
Hey, speaking of FAU and being so big, I went back and forth with our boy today, J-Mo, multiple times. We were going back and forth constantly all day, Jeff. J-Mo's going to be at the FAU Pro Day on March 19th, and he's going to come into the studio, and he's going to sit in with us while he's in town, too.
All right. Glad to hear it.
So cool. So, Robbie, what do we have going on right now? Because me and Jeff we're gonna vanish out.
All right. So we got a special guest tonight. We got freshman on the FAU basketball team, 6'6" combo guard from Raleigh, North Carolina, Jakel Powell. Jakel, how you doing tonight? AJ, if you want to put him on the stage.
I got it all. You're
know.
going ahead. I just asked you what you got going on. I'm going to bring him in. I got it.
I know.
6'6",
I know.
Then, Jakel.
Could you imagine 6'6" standing next to me? So, all right. We're going to turn it over to the Lastella Report.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear. Technical. Yeah, I can't hear. Hello? Yep, I can hear you. Right. All good. It's going good. Just got some food. Been chilling. Sure. Yeah. It's nice. Even right now, probably like 60, 70. Yeah.
Now, can you hear us, buddy?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right.
All right.
Let's go. All right, Jakel. Well, finally, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
How was practice today? I heard that's what was going on today.
Went well.
Went well.
Yep.
So no, that's what's funny. So that's how this whole thing, the idea to get you to come on our show came about. I think you saw it on Twitter. I asked Coach May about you and Devin and what you guys been up to, and he called you Bugs Powell. He said you're a 3-point threat, but you do a lot of other stuff. So that was pretty funny to see. Did you
Yeah.
see that? You saw that though?
Yeah, I saw it. My father actually sent me.
Well, I'm glad he saw it. So yeah, no, I mean, so you're gonna have to take me back a little bit though, because when I was doing my research, I only was able to find your senior year in high school stats, where you balled out for Raleigh Christian Academy. You put up 17 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals a game. But I didn't see the junior, sophomore, freshman year, and that's where junior years where it seems like you got most of your offers, and then one back in 2020. So kind of take us through a little bit like your high school years, and then how your offers developed, and then when did you realize really that, oh wow, I'm gonna be a D1 basketball player?
So my freshman year, like the summer after school balls ended, I had got my first offer. So that was pretty good. And then after that, my sophomore year, I went to play at TBS, and we did good. We ended up winning a state ring that year. And then my last 2 years, I was at Raleigh Christian Academy, and then I balled out both years. I don't know why my stats aren't up there, but yeah, I balled both years, and that's how it went.
So it looks like based off the offer, so it seems like mostly Carolina schools, a few schools in the Northeast, Fairfield, Siena. I saw Coach Carm like the tweet as well, but FAU comes out of nowhere in 2023. It seems like, at least from amongst all these schools from North Carolina and the Northeast. How did that develop a little bit? How did you end up talking to Coach May, and then how did that recruitment process really break down a little bit?
It's funny. So towards like the end of the basketball AAU, I would say like the end of the year, July around there, I had played for Georgia Stars, and that's EYBL, if anybody doesn't know. So it was funny because Church had saw me play, Coach Church,
Mhm.
and he had called me and was saying like, oh, how he liked me and liked how I played, and he was like, I want to talk to you more and get a good relationship. And I was like, wow, this is Florida Atlantic that just made it to the Final Four. So it was really like, I was a little starstruck. I was like, this is going good because this is what I needed. I wanted a higher offer, I would say, and it happened.
It happened. No, that's so funny though. So you'd say, so before FAU came around, were you committed to going to school in Carolina, or was it still up in the air?
It was still up in the air. I had App State and ECU and Richmond that I was thinking about, but I was just waiting for that right one.
Yeah, no, and I mean it came around. So you'd say the Final Four run and all that success was really what put FAU. Did you even know about FAU before that? It's okay, you can be honest.
Yeah, being honest, yeah, I
Yeah,
heard of them, but
yeah,
it wasn't that big, you know.
yeah, no, but so that's what you talk about all the time, like the results of the March Madness run. But so now you're here, you're on site. What have you been like? What have you been learning what have you been learning the most so far since you've been taking the freshman role a little bit and doing some scout team work and whatnot? What have you learned and what's been fun to you? What maybe hasn't been fun to you?
I would say I learned the change of pace from high school to college is really different. I will also say getting your shot off quicker, defense being more physical. Those are the things I more so learned. The things that there's nothing really bad about here. It's Florida. Uh, the team's amazing. Good culture. The coaches are nice. So it's nothing really bad, I would say,
Yeah.
at all, honestly.
Well, that's good. No, so what? So I mean, I'm sure if your parents listen, I'm sure they love to hear that there's nothing bad. But how did your parents, your family, how did they take you going to Florida instead of a school in Carolina or somewhere closer? How did that go down? Was there any issues, or just go for it?
No issues there. My parents are really supportive. My whole family is. So wherever I would say I loved or liked, they were following me right behind me.
I
So
feel like that's important. So like, what's the biggest difference to you then from North Carolina to Florida? Now, I know you mentioned Boca a little bit that you like it. So what's the biggest difference between Raleigh and Boca Raton a little bit?
Raleigh's weather is mad bipolar. So I
It's
would
cold.
say, yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina, it would be snowing one day, then it would rain, then it would be hot the next morning, then it would be cold again. So I like the weather. The people out here is pretty cool. I really stay in my room a lot, but I would say the beach is right here and the ball, you know?
The beach, the ball, the people. I mean, that's a big factor. So you like the campus life? You're enjoying. I mean, I'm sure you're with your boys on the basketball team most of the time, but campus life itself outside of that is good. You like it?
Yep, I like it. It's a nice campus.
The dorms, you're living in the dorms, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
in the
assuming
dorm.
freshman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's awesome. So no problems in the dorms. You're liking it?
no problem so far.
That's funny. I mean, most people don't like their dorms freshman year, but hey, I mean, if it's working out for you, it's working out for you. But so now that the season's gone by a little bit, and like now FAU's gone from top of the top rankings. Now they're out of the rankings. Has anything changed in that you've seen, like from practice intensity to anything like that, really, since from the beginning of the season to now, since the rankings changed a little bit? Or is
Uh,
it just
yeah, we always want to get better, I would say the intensity really got better. Like we're going at each other for real. We're trying to win it all still. There's always a chance, The rankings I feel like don't matter. So
Do
we
you
can
guys
all
pay attention to any of that, the rankings at all, or nah?
we try not to, but it's our the internet. So it's always gonna come to us, but we brush it off and focus on the end goal, I would say.
Yeah, so you guys aren't on social. You're not on social media. No TikTok. No, not at all. Not
No,
Instagram. What?
I'm on Instagram most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch Instagram reels.
No, I mean I feel like if I was in your position and I was on a team and I was like trying to it'd be so hard because I feel like FAU is like in a position like I mean it worked for you the advertising like everything is so FAU the name is everywhere, so I feel like everything gets put under like a little bit of like a microscope, I guess, but I don't know. But that's just my thought about it a little bit. But I guess you don't really see that as much from where you're playing your role right now. The eyes are on what's going on there. But so there's only two rookies on a team. It's you and Devin. How has that relationship developed? I know everyone talks about FAU kept everybody, but they don't talk about the two guys they brought in a little bit.
Me and Devin's relationship is really close. Off rip, I felt like me and him got like a smooth connection. On the court, we work out together most of the time. So our connection on the court, we'll do scout. So we're really like I would say locked in. We both got the same mindset. We want to win. So it's been going good.
Is there like is a competitive rivalry between you two? Try to like one up each other a little bit.
Definitely a little bit. We playing ones. It gets really
Yeah.
competitive, like real competitive.
I mean, that's how it's got to be. I feel like. I mean, if that's what iron sharpens iron. That's what I always hear a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, no, big, two big games this week, really, for you guys, SMU and Memphis. What has been the focus a little bit on practice? What role have you been playing? Who have you been trying to replicate this week, maybe for SMU and Memphis?
SMU, I'm the shooter, so I got it. I'm the I forgot his name, but number 3, the bucket getter.
Okay, you're the bucket getter.
I had to get some buckets. What was the other question?
And then Memphis. I mean, Memphis is the next game. You guys probably haven't started like exact prep for that yet, But what have you guys thought about that game at all? Is there any like in the locker room? Are you guys like, oh, we got this matchup again from March last year? I know you weren't part of it, but
I mean, we will always try to focus on the next game. So we really aren't thinking about Memphis as much, but so we're trying to win this next game. But I would say, yeah, there was like a little talk. A little talk.
A little bit, yeah. No, I feel like it's died down a little bit, but like I got to imagine, like right when the schedule came out, that was one that got a little bit of like attention towards it.
Yeah,
attention.
Talking about that. For sure.
But so how cool would it be though in your freshman year if you guys are able to make a little bit of a run back to March Madness, and how much would you try to learn from it, but also like live in the moment? I guess it's a freshman experience.
I'll feel probably starstruck again. First year here, haven't played a game, and I'm already in the tournament. So I would feel really starstruck. What was the other question?
Yeah, no. So would you try to like? How would you feel like you're just like trying to learn from it, or would you be in the moment trying to soak it up? Like, I don't. It's tough to say because like there's so much to learn from it, but also like be in the moment. So it's like what's more important to you, learning from it or enjoying the moment, or both?
Yeah, I really say both. Learning from that, really. I try to learn from everything. Like even during the practice or my teammates, I'll try to pick a piece of game off of each and everybody. So I would learn from it, and I also soak it in because that's a one of a kind experience.
Yeah, no, I can. I mean, it would be crazy for them to go back 2 years in a row, and then who knows where you guys end up from there? If what cities you go to, it's all a new experience. And I mean, as a freshman, I feel like the best thing to do is soak it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, so going back to Boca a little bit, so I know North Carolina, big up there is Cookout. Were you a Cookout fan when you were up there, or what? Like,
yeah, Cookout was down the street. I missed it. Not gonna lie.
I was mad. I went to Charlotte and I covered that game when you guys played up there. I went to Bojangles, but I didn't make it to Cookout. So I've never been to Cookout. But so in Boca, have you tried any of the food spots? I try to ask people who move down here about the Boca food a little bit.
Yeah, I tried a little bit. I don't really. North Carolina got a lot of stuff that's here too, so nothing really was different. I eat Chick-fil-A a lot, so
Chick-fil-A is the go-to. What's the order looking like?
I get the deluxe with Kobe Jack cheese and then no tomatoes and no pickles. I don't like tomatoes or pickles. And then I get a large fry, large Powerade, no ice, and then probably like a brownie, some extra fries.
That's the go-to. That's the go-to order right there, guys. You heard it first. Jakel Powell's Chick-fil-A order on the Bleacher Brothers show. Now, so what are you majoring in? What's the major looking like here at FAU? And how is like the school process going for you? I know it's like basketball is taking over right now, but student athlete. So what's academics looking like for you a little bit?
I'm a business major, and my academics have been going really good. I always try to focus on like books first.
Yeah.
Because no books you can't play. So and all my classes are online, so that helps whenever I travel. So
yeah, no, I mean I do the same thing. When I was a freshman here during COVID, so it's like all my classes are online. Then that boosts the GPA a little bit. I swear the online classes might be a little bit easier, but I don't know. That's just me, man. That's just me.
know, still learning.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I mean, I feel like they'll help you out if you need it. Like I don't know. But so has there been any has there been any like trouble adapting at all? So like I know you mentioned you're able to do your classes on the road, but there's been no issues adapting to the D1 basketball life at all.
No, I kind of lived like somewhat this life my past
You
years because of COVID and everything was online, and then I was just working out. Literally, what I do here: work out, eat, go back to the gym, study. So it's pretty much the same.
There you go. There you go. So have you been able to go back to North Carolina at all since, or you when do you like to go back home at all, if at all?
That I went back home one time for like 2 days
Oh
on
wow.
Christmas break, 3 days, yeah, for
Not
Christmas break.
not homesick at all?
Uh, so, but I call my family and text them. So
Nah, that's good. I mean, AJ was talking about JMO. He left his JMO's a football player. He left his wife and kid back in Texas, and I don't know, man. I'm from Boca Raton, and it's like I don't know. I liked it here, and my parents lived close, and I was like I wasn't gonna leave, but you know, it's good to see that like you're enjoying FAU and stuff. But Jakel, what would you say though you're trying to work on and build most in your game this season? As a little bit of time winding down on the season at least to build stuff. But what do you say you're trying to work on and build towards the future?
um, piece by piece, trying to get out on the court as soon as possible. I would say. I've really been working on shooting, dribbling, the basics. It's really the little things in college. From high school to college, I would say is a change. So yeah.
Piece by piece, step by step. No, I mean that's important. Do you think so? You mentioned getting on the court. I mean, I know there's fans they want to see it. Do you? I mean, I'm sure you can't say for sure, but do you think there's any chance that we see you? Maybe if there's a blowout of some sorts, or is it for sure not touching the court this season? We'll see you next year.
Yeah, not this year. Next year. Y'all gonna have
All
to,
right, all right.
y'all
The
gotta do a little
people.
bit.
The people will have to wait on the debut of Jakel Powell, but I know the Owl faithful will be behind you. Jakel, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Bleacher Brothers show. It was great to get you on here. We'd love to have you on back some other time, maybe next year over the summer or something. But good luck with everything, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. Thank you.
Of course. Yep, no problem.
All right, talk soon.
Yes, sir. Take care. I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. I'm Robbie Lastella, and for Jakel Powell, this is the Bleacher Brothers Show.
Well, I beat the drum and hold the phone. The sun came out today.
I have breaking news, Jeff. You guys can hear me, yes? Okay.
So what's the breaking news?
Steven Luker not only downloaded the Better app, but he placed his first bet.
Oh,
And this is the biggest prop bet I've ever seen in my life.
really?
He sent me a screenshot of it. How many bets are in this thing, Steven? It filled up
There's-
my entire phone.
There is 8.
8. He just go big or go home right out of the gate,
Yep.
huh?
Yeah.
Man, that slip's going to look like a Home Depot receipt.
And how did you do this? Was it just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
Yeah,
I mean,
eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I just picked.
best way to do it, buddy.
And I picked. They had
Steven, you're coming in really hot, really loud.
Okay, let me adjust that.
All right, cool.
Is that better?
It sounds the same.
Okay, let me adjust one more dial. There.
All right, go ahead. You're just excited about this
Yeah.
eight
So-
leg parlay he's got going on here.
So they had Djokovic at up plus 217.5, but they have him on a special for half a point up. So I took advantage of that. So I have Chikla for the Blue Jackets half a point, Hederick minus.
Just hold it up and show us the screen because all those there's a lot going on there, man.
Oh my goodness, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
hockey and NBA.
What does it pay? It pays like
$1,500.
1,500. So wait a minute. So how many? What was your bet? How much did you bet?
$5.
$5 for 1,500. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used our code too.
Luch said it's going to pay off your school. You're going to pay off your school tonight with that.
Yeah, baby.
Well, it has to wait till tomorrow to hit too because I have basketball action tomorrow in it.
Yeah. Joe Q says you're going to be able to buy the school from Dan Patrick after tonight, buddy.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, let's not get too excited yet. But if you do hit this thing, I guarantee you'll have your own Saturday morning gambling show on the Tony Bruno Sports Network starting this Saturday. So, Steven, let's get back to you. Can't quit your day job yet.
I'm not quitting.
Doing updates. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's going on in the world of sports?
All right. At the end of the second period, the Buffalo Sabres are up 3-2 against the Montreal Canadiens.
Do you have any of that in your parlay or no?
No,
okay,
because it was too late for me to enter.
Gotcha.
So I had to get the late action. The Flyers are up 2-1 against the Blackhawks in the second period. Right now, it's 8:33 left in that period. And our college basketball, we have an upset, but it was only by 1 point. The Penn State Navy Lions beat number 12 Illinois 90-89. George Madison is up 61-58 against number 16 Dayton. Tie game in Tuscaloosa, number 13 Alabama and number 24 Florida Gators, 77 apiece with 3:41 to go in the second half. Duke is up 73-47 against the Miami Hurricanes right now in the second half. That has 3 minutes and 57 seconds to go until halftime until the end of the game. And on this day in history, in 1969, Hall of Famer Ted Williams makes a return to baseball by signing a 5-year contract to manage the Washington Senators. Williams will lead the Senators to their best record ever, a mark of 86-76, and was named the American League Manager of the Year. That is your sports update.
Hey, go back for 1 minute. Tell me what period is the Flyer game in?
In the second period, 8:33 left to go.
Who are they playing?
The Chicago Blackhawks.
All right, so second period.
Yeah, maybe look at Connor Bedard right there.
My guy has no points yet. I need Frost to get a point. And then in the Buffalo game, and I saw it right before Luch put it in the chat here, that my guy's got 1 hit so far. So he needs to get 3 hits. Doesn't seem like a lot of hits. I mean, this obviously I'm going to have to ask Luch these questions.
Flyers just scored.
I don't care if the Flyers win or lose, Joe. I just need a point out of Frost.
What's the point is Frost?
We'll have to check it out.
Did Frost score? No, he didn't score. Else I'd have
Not
a point.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, I'm Frosty the Snowman on this app so far, but thank God they gave me my money back last night. So I don't know if it's the first 250 or if it's just the first bet, but I guess we'll find out when I lose another $10 tonight on here. He likes to hit. All right, well, hopefully he scores for me. So, all right, Steven, good job. We're going to go to the top of the hour break here. We'll come back with Robbie. We got to talk about what happened to FAU. They were calling him online Fraud Atlantic University, all the USF fans. Oh, yeah, it was Robbie and Christian, who's our photographer now. Christian put a post out before the game, took a picture of practice, and said Tampa takeover. And, did that not end well?
I don't like it.
And I got some. I bitched to Christian about FAU today. So we'll do that with Robbie. Let's go to the top of the hour break, and then we'll come back. More Lastella Report.
That's right.
Luca will be back. We'll take your phone calls.
That's right. Stay with us, Kuwait.
352-234-8669. And Jakel seems like Jakel, I'm saying it right. Yeah, he seems like a really good kid. So that was good. We learned a little bit about him.
From Raleigh Christian Academy. Yes, he was awesome.
Cool. All right, let's get this break out of the way and see if we can't burn something down in the meantime, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Crackers and cheese, honey, let me have a napkin, please. Come here and lay your head on my chest. Take a little rest from the sunny day's light. Some coke on cracked ice, baby, you have learned your lesson nice. Together we stir up a breeze, doing as we please when there's no one inside. Living a soft summer night, coke has the taste that's so right. Things go better with Coca-Cola. Living on a soft summer night.
B.J. Thomas, living a soft summer night with Coca-Cola.
Bud Light. Bud Light presents.
Once upon a time there was an engineer.
Bud Light presents.
Just a good friend.
Bud Light presents.
There's just one truth, yeah, nothing else comes near.
Bud Light presents. Bud Light presents.
Hello, boys and girls. It's me, the Frito Bandit.
Bud Light presents. Bud Light presents.
From San Francisco comes.
Bud Light presents. Real.
Oh, you need.
Hi, Tom Bodette from.
Drink Dr. Pepper and I'm.
Bud Light presents.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting, and now it's here. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app, tell your friends, the game is on. TBSN.
Another night, another dream, but always you. It's like a vision of love that seems to be true. Another night, another dream, but always you. In the night I dream of love so true.
Was Steven excited about the song or about his parlay bet right there? Because he looked pretty worked up.
Steven was moving. I love it. I love it. I love
How
it.
many Dr. Peppers you have tonight, buddy? It's 0. Are you off the Dr. Peppers? Because you used to drink them things like a camel drinks water. Nah. Steve, Jeff, do you remember? And I'm not sure what it was, but it was one of your shows, retro something or other that you guys were doing, the commercials or the TV shows. But Steven went to the grocery store in the middle of the show to get Dr. Pepper, and he took the camera with him. Do you remember that? And we're not hearing you, Jeff.
I'm sad I missed Steven's Dr. Pepper phase.
Oh, yeah. Steven
I
went,
remember.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was funny. He went to the convenience store, took the show on the road with him to get his Dr. Peppers and his What are you getting, Jolly Ranchers or something? I don't remember what the heck it was.
Yeah, he was always trying the newest like Mountain Dew concoction. I'm like, oh, they make that flavor, nice. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, like, I mean, hey, when I was a kid, Dr. Pepper was flowing through my veins, man. And I'm from, if you're from Texas, I'm originally from Texas. That's what they love there. And I think I told you about the Dr. Pepper gum. Oh my God, we lost our minds when that came out.
Was it pop or soda?
Like
what'd you guys call it?
It's so weird because we called it both, like soda pop, though. Isn't that weird?
I've heard it. I've heard that.
Because it's like we were right in the middle of the country in Texas. It's like soda pop. So like out here in Arizona and California, it sounds like I think soda is what they say.
Yeah, I never heard pop until I went in the Army.
Yeah, that's southern.
Never saw a Mexican in real life until I went in the Army. The only Mexicans I'd ever seen were Cheech and Chong up until that point.
Dave's not here, man. Yeah.
Oh, you remember that? Oh. All right, Robbie.
Yeah.
What is the problem with this basketball team, bro?
Hands up, I don't know. Now, listen, slow starts will kill you. That's been the issue all year, and it was the same story against USF. I mean, you saw in the second half, it was a completely different game. They looked like two different teams. First half, it was just really a struggle to get anything consistent. There was no one that really had a hot hand. Elijah Martin was going a little bit, which is important. He's been playing well since the overtime period against Wichita State, but against USF, it was really just him in that first half. Vlad got going towards the end of the first half, but it was just too late.
Robbie, this to me, all right? And, I'm an outsider. I'm not around the team like you are.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeff knows that I feel trends. I see things.
Yeah.
And this is my take on what's going on with this team. There's a big problem. It starts at the top. I know you're a huge Dusty guy.
Yeah.
But Dusty needed to already. So FAU went into the tournament last year basically as, lucky to be there, glad to be there. And then they made that run. And now they have a target on their back every week. And they're still living off of, hey, we're in the Final Four. Yes, I do see dead people, Joe.
I see dead people.
Exactly. And they're not playing until they have to play in these games. And this is a consistent pattern now, game after game after game, where they're falling behind. This week, they fell way too far
70
behind.
45 at one point.
Against a way too good of a team.
Yeah.
So they've been able to, make these comebacks. And they rallied. I mean, they cut it to 1, right?
Yep.
They cut it to 1. I mean, I was shocked because I looked online or something. I said, "Oh my God, they're down by 25. This is toast." I shut it. I didn't watch it. I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then 10 minutes later, I get in my truck, and it was a 9-point game. I'm like, "Holy crap!" And there was 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow!" But it just still had the feeling of.
Yeah.
They're killing themselves. There's a chance they don't even make the tournament if this keeps up, isn't there?
It's possible, yeah. They really only have wiggle room for really 1, or maybe if they're lucky and they play their cards right, 2 more losses. But even then, 2 would be a stretch. They can really only afford to lose 1. And they got some tough games. I mean, they got to play UNT on the road. They got to play Tulane. They got to play Memphis twice. They got to play, and then this week, this Thursday, tomorrow against SMU, who is arguably 2-3-ish, same level right now as FAU in the conference. And so it'll be tough. It'll be a tough matchup. But they what they need to do, and what I think they needed to do against USF, is Vlad needs to get involved. In the second half, they got him the ball right in the second half, right next to the basket. He would turn around and yam it home. He would turn around and pull a little hook shot in. He was able to do different things. But if they got him the ball next to the basket, it was over. He was scoring the ball. And I think that needs to happen against SMU, or John L. needs to immediately go down and hit 3 triples from the left wing, or Elijah needs to go down and do one of his crazy dunks through the lane or something to get energy early to get the guys going, because they can't just go down, run the offense, put up a shot, miss, go down 10 points. They need some electricity early, And
Are
if
they playing lazy out of the gate? Is that what they're doing? Are they lackadaisical? I mean, what is the difference between being down 25 and then going on a 20-0 run, basically?
See, I've noticed, I mean, it didn't happen as much against USF. It's situation by situation. I mean, whatever it is, I guess sloppy could be a word to describe because it's different things that happen. Some games it's turnovers. Some games it's just the shots aren't falling. Some games the offense is just slow a little bit and not getting anything going.
So you're saying it's a calamity of coincidences?
I think so.
No.
No, I
It's
mean
never a calamity of
there's
coincidences.
obviously an issue of scoring early, but no, like Dusty doesn't have an answer as to why. You know, he's trying different things. He's trying to do different things to get the offense going, early substitutions, lineup changes, what have you. But you know, it just hasn't clicked. It clicks sometimes. I mean, look, against the game against Temple, the first part of that game was the best part of that game, and the middle part of that game, they against Temple where they won by 12 against the game before USF. They led that game. They won the first 10 minutes of that game, and they won the final 10 minutes of that game, and they won it by 22 points. They lost the middle part, the middle 10 minutes of the final 10 minutes of the first half, and the first 10 minutes of the second half. They lost that to Temple by 10.
All right, I got some questions. So what is Dusty May's resume? Where was he before he was at FAU?
He was assistant at the University of Florida. He's been around. He went to Murray State.
So this is his first head coaching gig?
First head coaching gig.
How long has he been at FAU?
6 years, 5 years, one
so,
or two.
So, all right. So if this is let's just say it's year 6. Maybe it's year 5.
Yeah.
Did they suck 1, 2, 3, and 4? And then last year just come out of nowhere and get hot at the right time?
They were above 500. They've been above 500 every year since Dusty's been here, but it just hasn't been that kind of above 500 to make noise anywhere. And you know, when you're in those smaller conferences, you can go 20 games under 500, but if you don't beat anyone but your conference opponents, and then you lose in the conference tournament, that doesn't matter. So
it does matter.
Last year was one of the first years where they were able to get that national attention. And, you know, if people look at the stats and they see, okay, wow, Dusty's slowly gotten better each season, that's what gets him a lot of credit is because he took FAU from never being over 500 to slowly improving to the point where, wow, this team's now in the Final Four.
See, but I'm looking at it different. And, Jeff, you chime in and tell me because I'm saying that, all right, so he's the captain of that ship. All right, so the captain is always – he's always the one responsible. I don't care what you say. And they have the talent and they have the ability to play big ball. I mean, big ball. I mean, win. Like, you know, just beat anybody. Because they beat Arizona. The last time I looked, where is Arizona ranked right now? They
played a different style against U of A. You know, they played an inside-out kind of there for a good minute, not the whole game.
But to hear that Dusty doesn't really have an answer... That doesn't give me... Look, if something goes wrong on this show, ultimately I'm responsible, but I'm going to kick it up and say it's not the A.J. Johnson Sports Network, it's the Tony Bruno Sports Network. So you're Tony Bruno or you know, I'm not picking on Tony right now. I'll pick on Tony another time. I got all kinds of stuff here for Tony. But anyway, it's somebody's responsible... So, all right, if the players are lazy, if the players are not focused, well, that's the coach's job.
And so this is what this whole time you've been alluding to something that even he's a freshman that Robbie interviewed very well.
He did a great job.
One of the things you were like, and you were very political, very, and I don't think he knew that you were asking him, hey, what's going on? And like in your way, you asked him, what's going on right now? And what do you need to do, you know, better? And he just like went right with it. He even said better intensity. And AJ, that's kind of what you've been like skirting around with Dusty May or with the Dusty May saga right now is like, he needs to dial up the intensity. I did watch a lot of that game and, you know, he wasn't.
It's possible. I mean, you know, intensity.
Joe wants to know about if playing in the AAC.
The AAC is definitely a very competitive conference. I mean, gosh. I mean, you're looking at across there's no teams in that conference that's a slouch besides Wichita State, ECU, Tulsa is kind of bad, UTSA is kind of bad, and that's about it, and Rice. So there's 5 teams in the conference out of, and even then, they're competitive, but they're just not that good. But everyone else is good. Like, they could beat you on any given night. And even the bottom 5 teams. I mean, Rice beat Memphis, and Memphis might be garbage. Who knows?
I mean, and when did Tulane start getting good? Like last couple of years?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Ron Hunter's leading a good program over there. I mean, they got a guy from down here, Colby King. So, So there's just about the AAC is very competitive, but I think where FAU has been struggling is to get. I mean, and they should have gotten up for this USF game, but they didn't. I just they played in the March Madness. They played in the biggest tournament last year. They won the conference tournament. And so it's like, are they having an issue of getting up for these games that aren't March Madness? But it's like USF, that place might as well have been a March Madness. I mean, the whole place, when they say sell out, like, there was not an open seat. Like, that every seat in that building had a butt in it. And so that place was packed. The energy was there. It was on ESPN.
I was looking for you.
It was for the conference. Oh, they sat me. I could touch the
I know.
roof. I could touch the roof.
But
no, and so it's like, but they should have gotten up for that game. That's a huge game, and they didn't. So that's not the issue to me. I can't say they're not getting up for big games. Before, when they lost to FGCU Bryant, sure. They didn't lose to ECU, they beat ECU, but still. It's like, I don't know. It's really tough to pinpoint to me. Like, besides, no, they don't. You know how most teams, they'll come out and try to feed a hot hand. They'll try. If it was the Heat back then, they would try to, after LeBron left, they'd try to beat Dwayne Wade. When LeBron was there, it would be LeBron.
Yeah.
They need to come out of the gates and immediately try to get John L., Elijah, or Vlad going. And if one of those 3 guys cannot get going out of the gates, then it might be a loss. I don't know. But even then, they have so many other guys. Like Nick Boyd's capable of putting up 20 points. Brian Greenlee's able to put up points when he needs to. Jalen Gaffney can put up points. Giancarlo Rosado can put up points. So there's 9, 10 guys that are capable of scoring the basketball. Maybe not as an elite level as, John L., Elijah, or Vlad, but I don't know. They just need to find a hot hand early and get rolling out of the gates.
So they're opening up the matchup tomorrow night with SMU.
Yeah.
As 6-point favorites. How are they favored over anybody at this point?
Well, I mean, before that, the spreads used to be double digits every time, and that was free money fading FAU.
What were they favored over USF? They were favored.
Yeah.
Was it like 3 or 4 points?
Yeah, it was close. I don't remember the exact spread, but obviously they did not cover.
How was that arena? I know it was the first time it was sold out in like 22 years or something like that.
Yeah. First time that arena's ever been sold out. They played in the hockey arena, Mali, and they sold that out one of the years, like early years they first made the tournament, about 20 years ago, 2003, 2004, something like that. But it was packed. I mean, like I was saying before, every seat was filled. I mean, you could tell it's packed when the concourse, they're not prepared. I mean, I would go because the Wi-Fi, I'll never take FAU Wi-Fi for granted. The Wi-Fi in that stadium was garbage. But because I would have to go out to the concourse to try to get my tweet to send because wherever I was sitting, there was no internet, not good internet. But so I would go out to the hallway and there'd just be people everywhere. Like the bathroom line, I mean, I didn't have to use those ones. I got to use the media one, but it was around and around, and the food lines got. I mean, I'd be surprised if some of these people saw the whole game.
How much of the motivation that USF had came from their football team? Because that was FAU's football's really that was their only sort of glorious moment of the entire season, pretty much.
I don't know if the players, the athletic director, the media relations guy I was talking to him after, and he was like, "We had to get you back for football." So there's people over there that are thinking it.
So can you blame Herman for the onside kick when the game was way out of hand already?
We came back. If we got blown out by 30 and they were doing windmill dunks on us up 30, yeah, but we came back. It was a 4-point game.
True, it was.
So it's like you can't really say that was anything egregious. I mean, a loss is a loss, but they
score
fought
didn't
hard.
tell the story at all.
They beat him in the second half. I mean, obviously that's not a win. USF won, obviously, but I don't think they were trying to make a statement per se.
Look, Jeff, if a team sucks, like FAU football was not a good team. I'm not making fun of them. They weren't a good team. They weren't up to par against the competition.
Fair.
So they had it's not an excuse, but it's a reason that they had a bad season. Their players were not as good as the players on the other teams. Now, some guys were. Obviously, Wester's a good player. Both Westers were really good players. J-Mo's a monster.
Yep.
Ambush was a great player. Lupo's a good kicker. But overall, individuals don't make a team. And that, you can say for football, that was the reason. With basketball, and I heard something about Wester I want to mention too in a minute, but with basketball, they are just as talented as any other team in college basketball. Or can we agree to that?
Yeah,
based off
for
of what
sure.
they did last year and they get all their starters back? But then there's no reason. There's only excuses. And excuses are like assholes.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
got one.
Exactly.
It's tough to say. I mean, we'll see how the. I mean, they
You're
could go,
biased, and that's okay. Our show is biased and uneducated. That's our tagline. But you're biased if you're outside of this.
I was
looking
saying
in.
today that if they don't really pick it up against SMU, that's going to be a game where I think it'll be a realization game, because once they lose to SMU, it will be pretty much win out or say goodbye to the season. And I mean, it's so tough to say. Like, I can't sit here comfortably and say even with 2 losses that FAU won't get put in a tournament, because it's a human decided thing, right? It's not the computer. So they see Final Four from last year, and they have to. Your mind has to consider that, whether or not they actually are supposed to. Doesn't matter. It's tough to take a Final Four team that at least has remained competitive out of March Madness. Now, excuse me, if FAU is able to at least win 4 down the stretch, 3, I think they'll be fine. But it's possible. It's very well possible, and we'll see with the SMU game tomorrow that they find themselves in a position to not be in a position if they lose.
All right, hey, let's. Can we change topics for a minute, but stay on FAU, Jeff? You all right with that? You
That's
got anything
right.
else on basketball? All right. So baseball, we're covering baseball. Toby's covering baseball for us. FAU comes home. They open up their home part of the season this weekend. I think they got Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Against
They're off
Towson.
Monday, and then they go Tuesday and Wednesday all at home. So they got a nice little stretch. So how has the FAU baseball team been in the past? I know the coach has been there for a long time, and he just signed an extension. I saw that.
They're consistently in their regional championships. Occasionally they'll stretch it out to Omaha. I mean, they're not. They put a few players actually into the pros. They put a guy named Austin Gomber, and they put Nolan Shanwell on the Angels right now. Thanks, Luch. I agree. But this year is an interesting year, is because it's a lot of new players. It's a lot of basically, they lost half their starting lineup to the transfer portal. NIL runs deep in baseball, too, especially over there in the SEC conference. So a few players went to Florida. I think one might have been to Tennessee. I don't remember 100%. But
How did they finish in Vanderbilt? Were they 1-2 for the weekend?
they split they went 1-2. They really should have won the series 2-1. Relief pitcher gave up a ding-dong and then walk-off home run in the first series, and that was that. But they were up in that game. And they were 1 strike away, actually, from closing out that first home opener or road opener against Vandy there. But they lost. Second game they won, and then game 3 they got beat 11-1. But they were projected to lose that series by like 27 runs.
That's
25
the
runs.
toughest team out
they,
there.
And they didn't. And so they scheduled this way on purpose. They have Towson, who's not really too competitive in baseball. That they have him this week, and they're riding in with, instead of riding in off a beat down against Vandy, they're riding in with some momentum. Yeah, they lost 2 out of 3, but they had a guy come in against Vandy, relieve the starter, Brian Booley, in the win in game 2. He pitched 3 2/3 innings, came out of the pen, relieved the starter, 6 Ks, no walks, no hits.
If anybody on X or Facebook or YouTube, if you have any questions, you have any FAU questions for Robbie, it looks like Luger might have a question.
FAU
hold
club
on.
hockey, yeah, club team.
You can call. You can call the show at 352-234-8669. We only got a couple minutes left in this segment, but if you want to call and you come in. Yeah, yes, Stephen. Joey Zito is Barry Zito's
Barry's
kid.
kid.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you get that devastating curveball.
He
So,
might.
To answer
got a
Luch's
question.
question, I just see FAU does have a hockey team. They are Division II AAU, but they're working on getting it better. They're slowly starting to get more interest in it, and sooner than later, could be something. What are you gonna say, Jeff?
Who's the freshman that hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning?
This
I
weekend?
Yeah.
No, FAU did. No, FAU didn't score enough runs to do that.
Sure, it wasn't FSU.
Okay.
You get him confused. I don't.
It was
I
an
don't know.
FAU freshman. I was
This
trying to find it. I
weekend?
lost it. Damn it.
I don't know. No, this weekend, John Schroeder batting about 500 for the series. Him, Brando Leroux, and Emilio Gonzalez combined for 8 doubles, 11 RBIs.
If it happens, Steven or Joe Q will find it. Joe Q gets 55 points because
Well,
Joe Q's
they
just banging
didn't
out
score. They
everything
didn't score
here.
8 runs
found
in
it.
the game. Oh, but
I
maybe
just sent it to AJ. I should send it to.
pull it up.
All right, let me see. I'm pulling it up here. Let
I
me
don't know.
see.
Did I miss it?
You might have missed it, buddy, because you were over there in Tampa for the Tampa takeover.
Oh yeah.
FAU freshman opens career with 2 grand slams in 1 inning. Yeah, you know what? I saw this too, Jeff, and I forgot all about it, but I can't. Oh, it's an actual video.
Pull
It's
it
a
up.
video. I'm gonna try to send it to Robbie.
No, send it to Steven. Steven will get it. Steven can get it on the screen.
We got to get Toby
None
on
of
here
us
and do
know
a
how to do
baseball
that.
hit one of these days. He knows more. Toby's a big baseball guy.
Yeah, Toby's covering. Toby covered the first series for us. Toby, I got him credentials this week. I don't know if he's going to get out there, but he's going to cover that. I'm going to go to the games on Friday, Saturday, and we are going to. I'm going to photo like crazy. And they got this really cool
Cabanas
with these lounge chairs, and it's first come, first serve.
Nice.
Joe is unofficial Googler. Yes, Joe is the unofficial Googler. Did you send it to Steven, Jeff?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right, Steven, see if you can
I'll
get that
be
up on
maybe hooking up with Bill from Top Fan Rivalry on Friday.
Yeah.
So
You're hooking up with them. Whoa.
Yeah, you know how we roll.
All
you
right,
know.
so I don't mean this is Caleb Pendleton. This was from 2021.
My bad.
No
Oh,
good.
This is old.
This is
All right,
old.
never mind,
Don't
Steve. Never
show it.
mind,
No worries.
Steven.
Caleb Pendleton is still on the team, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind, Steven.
Why did it pop up? Because I have FAU.
No, he is not. Caleb Pendleton actually. As of last
Terry?
season, he graduated.
Is that Terry's kid? Maybe that's news.
I don't know, but he he signed with the Los Angeles Angels as well as an undrafted catcher. So him and Nolan Shanwell carrying the FAU connections in baseball a little bit.
That's great, but signing with the Angels is like getting a job at Taco Bell.
Ooh.
To each their own. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking the kid. I'm knocking the team. I'm not knocking the kid at all. I'm knocking the team. All right.
Shohei is gone.
The play. Oh yeah, I saw that too, Steven. Did you guys see that? The player. What team was he on, Steven? Sacramento State. The dude. I guess it was a doubleheader, or it had to be a doubleheader. The dude was up 8 times. He had 8 plate appearances, and he got hit by a pitch on 7 of the 8 plate appearances.
Oh, come on.
In college baseball?
In college baseball, yeah, it happened this weekend. I saw that, Steven.
What team?
He was. What was the team? Sacramento State. Yeah, I saw that when it happened.
Okay.
So I heard something about Wester today that I had not heard before.
What we got?
And I don't know if it's legit, but the reason. What's that, Jeff?
What up, Hornets? Sacramento State Hornets. Sorry about that.
Sacramento State Hornets. The reason that the Westers dipped is because the third Wester that you never hear about got cut. If that was the case, how stupid is the coaching staff? If you have 2 really good Westers and then there's a third Wester that's not good, he keeps a helmet and a uniform because you want to hang on to the 2 good Westers.
I don't know if that's true, but what I did hear is that that's the reason Colorado is just going to slap him with a free scholarship anyway, a scholarship, quote unquote. They're just going to pay for it. It's not going to be an official scholarship, but they'll just pay for his board and whatever he needs, and that way his 2 brothers go there.
But if you're FAU, you want to hang on to LeJontay and Jalen, right?
Yeah.
You want to hang on to those
Well,
guys, so you keep the third guy around.
I don't know the source, but I just don't think that would have happened. I mean, Tom Herman's been a coach for a while. He's got some situational awareness, so I mean, it's possible. College football is anything. I mean, anything can happen, and I wouldn't be too surprised to hear it, but I would, just from the sense that, like I said, Tom Herman's been around. He's been around Texas and all these different big programs, to know these type of situations when big players have bad siblings or friends or whatever, and they're 2-for-1 packages, or in this case, 3-for-1, 2.5-for-1. I don't know how you break that one down.
There you go.
Well, when Herman comes on, because it was confirmed already to me today that Herman is going to come on the show. We're going to do an interview with Herman. That is the first question I'm going to ask Herman. Because
Well, maybe how you doing, or like what's going on, coach. But then we go right into that.
You have your style, and it'll evolve, and I have my style, and can I get J-Mo on the phone right now? Can I get anyone that we've interviewed on the phone right now?
Probably.
Yeah, they love us because they like the style.
A good friend of mine, David Scamperino, he's actually walking on to FAU football. He's got tryouts coming up next week. He played receiver in high school. And so he's been in contact with their receiver coach, and he's going to tryouts. So we wish him luck.
Good. We're going to root for this kid.
Yeah.
All right.
And Luch has got a connection. Luke knows Nicholas Pecora, he knows the family, and he plays on the FAU hockey team. So Robbie's flying, because Robbie's a hustler. Robbie's flying. He's flying up to Memphis this weekend.
We're taking a train to Orlando and a plane to Memphis. We'll be there for a night, and God willing, we'll make it back the next night.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of freaking work to me, but
it's not that bad. We'll make it.
And Robbie's flying. I'm assuming it's Spirit that you're flying, right?
Spirit and Frontier. We're just double dipping in hell over here. We're flying Spirit on the way there and Frontier on the way home. So.
And you're not nervous about flying at all, because there's a couple of articles that hit the news like in the last 24 hours.
I flew like a day after that one incident a while back where like the side of the plane like flew off, and like I flew like a day after that. And so I was sitting in an exit row, so I had to like agree to all this stuff or whatever. And when the flight attendant asked me if I had any questions, I looked at her and I pointed at the wall and I said, "Will that remain there through the duration of this flight?" And she said, "I hope so." And she said, "I hope so." And I was like, "You can't give me a yes or no." And she laughed and walked away. I'm like, "What is this?"
This is not funny.
But that's Spirit for you. That's Spirit. You know, they got to be lighthearted.
There's a lot of spirit. Yeah. Oh God.
All right, let me find these two articles that popped up today. All right, and this one I know happened yesterday. So let me get it here. I bookmarked it, and now I have 10,000 bookmarks. So let me find it. But there was a plane that was flying. It might have started in Phoenix, and it was flying to the East Coast, and it was an American Airlines flight, I believe, might have been a Delta. Where the hell is this thing? I'm all the way back there. But anyway, what happened was, will I find this thing? Is that the left wing of the plane started to come apart in the air.
Yeah.
Did you see this, Jeff?
Yes. I think it was a bird strike or something, or
I didn't. They didn't say in the article that I read.
You trying to scare me from getting on this plane to Memphis? I'm going there. Plane, train, boat. I'm walking. I don't care. We're going to the home of Elvis. We'll be in the big house.
And then just recently, also on an American Airlines flight, passengers had to tackle a crazy passenger who tried to open the door mid-flight. Now, I never get those reports where somebody tries to open the door mid-flight. You either open it or you don't, or are these doors unopenable, which means sitting in the exit row is complete BS anyway, and the whole thing where, are you prepared to open the door?
Well, I feel like it's difficult. Like, I feel like it's hard to open the door. So I feel like it's made for, like, it's idiot-proof. So if some guy just goes up there in a fit of rage, he can't just fucking hit the knob and open the door. Because if he did...
It's much easier to open it when it's on the ground. And it's not, pressurized cabin. They can, it's a lot easier. When you're up in the air, the cabin's pressurized. Yeah, you gotta, to do that you gotta be kind of strong.
Yeah,
there's been some shenanigans up in the air, and then there's the worst one today. I'm sure you saw.
What was it?
There was a bomb threat on one of them.
See, in these situations, I would just never be the hero. Like, I'm not tackling anybody. I'm not getting involved. Like, at the airport, I am a non-playable character. Like, I'm an NPC. I'm there to get on my flight and get the heck out. like, I'm not here to end up on national news for tackling some guy on a Frontier flight.
Oh, dude, you got to be Bruce Willis, bro. You can't be.
I don't know. I might be OJ running through the airport in Memphis trying to make my flight after the game. But other than that, that's about it.
All right. So, Lastella Report, you'll be back next Wednesday.
Be back with some good stuff.
And you're going to be reporting from we're upping the content on all FAU. We are going to grow. Obviously, Bleacher Brothers is going to grow to be an enormous player in the sports media world, but FAU a year will be the dominant sporting news.
We've got some really good people. Toby is one of the biggest, best baseball minds I know. He's worked with professionals and whatever, professional organizations. And Christian, you've seen his photography work. And Daxon up and comer in the photography industry. So we're building up a team. So FAU on the map here soon enough, thanks to Bleacher Brothers.
We're coming. We're gonna get rid of this last commercial break real fast, and then we'll be right back. And get another Lucar update, and we'll wrap this thing up. And we got a call, so if the caller sits on hold, we'll get to you right after this break, okay? And Toby appreciates the
love Toby.
the words in the chat there.
Cook up some good stuff.
So hold on, caller. We'll be back after this break.
You're listening to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Bud Light presents. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Now, back to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on fire. We gon' boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire.
Yeah, I'm not doing those.
And take shots until we fall out like the roof on fire.
I know.
Now, baby, get
Your favorite commercials.
like the roof on fire. Tell them, baby, 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 I'm on fire. I tell them, baby, 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 baby.
All right, let me go to the phones here and see.
Oh yeah.
So crap, it's different now because I have a screener. I guess I just click hold and bring them on. Let's see.
Let's see what's up.
Now, according to our screener, it says that this is the an airline gate agent or a gate attendant. So you're on the air with Bleacher Brothers show. Nah, Tom, I got nothing, buddy. I don't know what's going on here. Unless it says connected. Oh, answer. Here we go. Hello, you're on the air with the Bleacher Brothers show.
Well, hello, this is Miss Robin.
You are not a flight attendant.
I used to be. I wasn't a flight attendant. I used to be a gate agent. In my many incarnate jobs that I have had throughout my lifetime, one of them was a gate agent for Alaska Airlines and for Reno Airlines. And so I actually know this answer.
Okay.
The doors are not made to be opened under pressure. It's very difficult to open up the doors when you're in altitude. They are made to be opened fairly easily once you're down and decompressed.
So if the plane goes down in the ocean, it's going to be under pressure, right? So there's no escaping?
You want to, it's just like anything. If a car goes underwater, if an airplane goes underwater, it's going to be very difficult to open up any kind of door because you have the water pressure on the outside. The trick, if you have to have an ocean landing, is the pilot hopefully will land the plane like
Sully?
Captain Sully did, where it's above the water and he lands it like an amazing phenom, and then you are able to open up the doors like you would normally on a, and then they open up nicely, and then you have the slides that go out.
Now, Robin, do you still have any of your badges or anything? Because Joe Q pointed out,
do.
just because you're a member of the Mile High Club does not make you a flight attendant.
I am not. Can you believe it? I worked for the airlines, and I'm still not a member of the Mile High Club, which is a total outrage.
That is an outrage, isn't it?
Oh, Miss Ryan,
Yes.
you got people yelling at you because they missed their flight and everything, or
Oh God. Oh yes. Oh yes. There is a phenomenon called airport flight rage, and people become insane. I don't know what it is. I think it has something to do with travel in general, because I know that people that there's drive rage, but the kind of rage that happens to some people during the whole traveling process is insane. We had a guy. This one I remember very clearly because it was the only time that somebody I thought was going to become physical. We'd close the doors, and if you know the procedures, like you call out forever, this is the last call for flight number blah blah blah, you need to come here, the gates are closing. And we did that several times. The gates closed, and all of a sudden this guy comes running up saying, that's my flight, and we're like, dude, we've been calling it forever. And the gate agent that had gone down the jetway to get the numbers from the pilot was coming back up the jetway and opened the door, and this man saw his opportunity and pushed her out of the way and ran down the jetway. They were just closing the doors, and he literally jumped on board the plane before the doors closed. And the jetway was already pulling back.
So this is before 9/11 when you were.
I was going to say,
there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just before 9/11.
Did you have to use green felt pens with the airline that you were with? Because we used to run this. We used to run this scam with the airlines back in the mid 90s. So we knew I worked for a big company, and we traveled a lot. I lived in Florida. I worked in California, lived in Florida. And the company would book us on, the crappiest flights, the cheapest seat. But the travel agent said, look, here's what you do. The airline agents use green felt pens. So if they have to write anything on your ticket, you're going back mid-90s. So computerization wasn't everything it is today. So he says, look, you got your seat in row 92. But what you do is the day before, you call up and you reserve a seat in first class. I'm like, okay. And you go, you get your boarding. You used to get was different. You had your boarding pass or some sort of ticket beforehand back then. I don't remember what it was. So you literally would have
an actual ticket.
Yeah, you had tickets. Yes. So then what we did is we would reserve the first class seat, so you can get in 4A. Okay, great. Oh yeah, we'll pay for it at the airport. Okay. Then we get the green felt pen, and we change the seat number in the green felt pen that the airline would use, same pen, to 4B. And then we would show up, and it would confuse the attendant 95% of the time, where she would just go by the green felt ink on there, and then boom, we're in first class. It worked 99 out of 100 times. One time it didn't work, and it was on Carnival used to have an actual airline. And I was flying from LAX back to Fort Lauderdale, and I was in my first class seat. And back then, I had no class. I mean, I would travel. I would just throw all my crap in a trash bag, and that would be my suitcase, and I would take it as a carry-on. And, so here I am walking in the first class with the trash bag, a hefty bag, throwing it in the overhead. And I'm sitting there, and then they came on, and they're like, Mr. Johnson. I'm like, oh. They said, how are you going to pay for the seat?
Classy, Johnson.
I was. I'm like, what do you mean pay for it? My company paid for it. No, they didn't. Get in the back of the plane. I'm like, son of a bitch. But yeah, that was a whole thing that we.
By the time I was a gate agent, we were still doing paper tickets, but. It was like right in that transition phase, because we didn't have cell phones yet.
No, it was before that. And we would get the actual tickets from the flight attendant, from the flight agent, the travel agent. That's what it was. the company would book them through the travel agent, and then the travel agent would give them the actual tickets, and that's how we would change them. My exact facts may be a little bit off, but the green felt pen.
That's all it took.
We had another time. This was probably early '90s with somebody else. We were going on a convention somewhere in Daytona. I was in Jersey, and back then you could actually change the name on a ticket. It wasn't like it was a pain in the ass, and the airline didn't like it. So we booked all these tickets for people, and then the people kept dropping out. So we were calling back. I think it was Continental. We're calling back. We need to change the ticket. We need to change the ticket. We need to change the ticket. And finally, they wouldn't let us change the tickets anymore. So we got in a car. We drove to Newark Airport. We figured out we'll just go in there, and we go up to the ticket counter. And the woman's real nice. She's like, "Oh, okay, what do you need to do?" Okay, great. So she looks on the computer and she's like, "Oh." I said, "What do you mean, oh?" She goes, "There's a note in here. I've never seen anything like this before." She says, "Under no circumstance, change this ticket for a Mike Randy or an Arnold Johnson. These tickets stay the same." I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Yeah, so we were like the Al Capones of Continental Airline.
Wow. They're on to me.
Yeah, they had us. They had us in their book.
Well, 9/11 changed that. 9/11 made it so that you could not change the name on a ticket. And that was a huge inconvenience because, like, if you had purchased a ticket, you couldn't go anymore. You could give it to somebody else and just change their name, and then they could go.
Well, apparently we did it too many times for Continental on that one instance, and they had us in there.
I had to deal with some people like you, and you guys were just annoying. You were a pain in the ass.
Did you ever see a note in the computer, though, that said, "Under no circumstance, deal with this person"?
Oh, yeah.
Right. He's got a trash bag.
We would write, totally. We would have notes to other travel agents all the time about, like, if this person comes to the counter and asks for blah, 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 do not, they're lying, they're blah. Yeah, you could do all sorts of stuff like that.
All right, so Robin, while we have you, but before we let you go, because we're going to get Luker in to do his final update, we have a complaint. I've voiced it to you already, but we're going to voice it again on the air right now.
Oh, great. Thank you.
No more Bud commercials. We're just skipping them. I can't even listen. When I listen to Pete in the morning and I'm driving my car, I'm really tempted to just drive into a telephone pole when he goes to commercial break. I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
Okay, so I have this really long list of things that I need to do. That is one of them. And I have yet to be able to get to it because I am completely overbooked. I know that's a lame excuse because that's all I'm saying constantly, that I just don't have time. But I literally am doing like 10 jobs. And I know you know the feeling. So it is on my list. I totally agree with you. I did do something. I don't know if you noticed. There used to be 5 commercials, and I've narrowed it down to 3 so that if somebody needs to go on a break and do a quick potty break, at least it's not a really long one. You're just going to have to pee fast.
Well,
I thought 5 was way too much.
You got to look at the system from my break at 9 o'clock. There were 10 minutes worth of commercials that I fast forwarded through. I just went next. And usually it's, 3 or 4, but I was doing it for a good minute. And those Bud commercials were all 59 seconds. I don't know if you can go back and look, but yes, it was
I have to look because I changed it to only 3 commercials.
You sure you didn't hit a 0 after the 3 accidentally?
No, I'm positive.
I'm taking my green felt pen out if I can find them, but no more commercials. Robin, thank you
Give me something else to put in that time slot, and I will happily do it. One of the things that I want to do is have you guys record promos for the other shows and vice versa.
We got Patrick from SpongeBob doing a promo for us. We got it, Robbie. I thought you were going to isolate that from me on audio.
Oh, we need to do that.
Put your headset on,
I have
bro.
to have him.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Made sure
I haven't paid for a transfer yet. I need to do that.
All right, I got Lorenzo White doing one for us. I got a few of them, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can we get a We Transfer Bleacher Brothers sponsorship? That would be great.
Yeah, we use the shit out of We Transfer. I know. So, but anyway, thank you for answering.
We Transfer is that kind of like a Dropbox?
It's better than Dropbox because Dropbox is
Oh,
confusing
okay.
and just a pain in the rear end. We transfer. It's I don't know what it's $100.
Way
You
better?
sign up for it, and then you can send any file, any size. Boom, it's instant. It's not that whole Dropbox pain in the
Cool.
rear end. So
Well, we'll talk more.
sounds good, Robin. Thank you for filling us in on the
You
the
are very
airline
welcome.
doors.
Yes,
And
thank you, Miss Robin.
Have a good night. And Joe says he's pissed at Tony for lying to him about you being in the Mile High Club.
Oh,
He's part of the Mile High Club. I am not. Go figure.
All right, we're gonna go to Luker. Thanks,
Yeah.
Robin.
Okay, bye.
bye.
All right, Steven. How is your parlay coming along, Steven? Are you
It
keeping
hasn't
track of
started.
it?
It hasn't started.
Oh my god!
Oh.
It starts it when we're off the air because it's the Ducks game I have.
You got all
And
of this is
Boston.
going to happen. And you need 9 different things to happen in one game.
I have 1, 2, 4 things in one game and then 1 in the other game.
Yikes!
So the game is final. Is the
Buffalo Sabres and Canadians.
it's final? Yeah,
3-2. Buffalo Sabres.
I don't care about the score. I care about the hits. Dahlin only got 1 hit. Who only hits once? What a wussy. I mean, it's hockey. You're supposed to be hitting constantly. All right, Steven, let me get your music here. And oh, look at that. Tom has his instrument with him tonight. So we're gonna change it up, Steven. We're gonna let Tom play live for you, maybe.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, remember, you know when to start, Steven. Hang on. How cold is it in California? Why do you have a Dr. Seuss hat on?
It's not a Dr. Seuss hat. It's been off and on with the rain today. It's been rain, sun, rain, sun. It's just been crazy.
I see that sweatshirt is still hanging in there, huh?
Hey, I took it off for the whole week until today.
I know.
I
You
wore-
have it on. Yes, I know that.
This is my only waterproof jacket, too.
This is what we do. We bust each other's balls, and people
Yeah.
like it. They get
Yeah.
feedback afterwards. All right,
There
Steven,
we
come
go.
on, let's go.
Let's go, folks. We got the Sabres beating the Canadians 3-2.
Hold on. Stop 1 second. Joe Q can chime in on this. If Steven keeps this up the way he's doing this, he could be a track announcer. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, the
That'd be
Sabres. And the Flyers are up 3-1 against the Chicago Blackhawks in the third period, 7:57 to go. And on college basketball, we have some finals, as mentioned. We have an upset. George Madison beats Dayton 71-67. Alabama beats Florida 98-93. Number 13 team beats number 24. Duke lays a smacking against the Miami Hurricanes 84-55.
Where's all this animation coming from? Are they teaching you this in the Dan Patrick School, or are you doing this on your own? Because you're doing
I'm doing it my own.
You're doing a really good job, bro. Maybe you've outgrown that school. Maybe there's nothing left that they can teach you.
The class I'm taking right now, it's like I'm scheduled to take it in 17 months, but I'm ahead.
Yeah, Joe's right. An auctioneer. You can be an auctioneer. You can be
And
up there.
Marquette is up 46-27 against DePaul in the first half. Marquette's number 7. Kentucky is up smacking LSU. 30. No, it's not a beat. Smacking. Kentucky's up 33-27 against LSU. Kentucky's number 17. And are on this day in history in 1974, New York Mets pitcher Tom Seaver becomes the highest paid player in Major League history, signing a 1-year contract worth $172,500. In 1973, Seaver won 19 games while leading the National League in ERA. That is your sports update.
How much was he making that year?
Believe that?
$172,500.
That's crazy, bro. If you hit all 9 of those picks, you'll make that much on your bet tonight.
I'll probably might. Who knows?
All right,
We'll
so
wait and see.
here's what we're gonna set up for a future show. Joe, we're gonna need your help. We're gonna have to get a feed from whatever that is, the HGTV that runs the horse race. It's not HGTV, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna live stream it on, but we're gonna mute it, and we're gonna give Steven the program. We'll get Steven the Daily Racing Form card.
Exactly.
And then he will announce the race. We'll announce the races all because there's 20 minutes between races, 10 minutes, so we can get 3 or 4 of them in. 5 of them in during a show. That would be fantastic.
That would be his final test for Full Sail, right? I would think.
Oh, there's a FanDuel TV now. I didn't even know about FanDuel TV. I'm going way back to, what was the other one? There was one with an H, Joe. There was something. Go back like 3 years before FanDuel had their TV. But yeah, Steven, you are doing great. A lot of the feedback I get is they enjoy you.
That's right.
Thank you. Do you want that Texas A&M Commerce fight loaded up?
Yeah, guy. Let's put it up there.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly, man.
Yeah, let's
beware at home.
Warning, please do not do any of this fights at all. If you do any of these fights, your parents will be calling the police or anything, so please do not try these at home, kids.
That's right.
And all right, there's no way for me to make a new card right now. I'm not going to do it, so I'm just going to transition it over. All right, go ahead, Steven, let it play.
Alrighty, here we go, folks. This happened on Monday.
Win on the road. They sweep the season series against Incarnate Word. They move to 4-10 in conference play. UIW moves to 3-10, and with
Stop an ad!
Oh, Steven.
I didn't expect the ad. I didn't expect the ad.
All right, we need to get you the YouTube package that's commercial free,
this
Steven.
is really not good. We've got punches being thrown. This is really bad. Oh my goodness.
That looks like the USF fans chasing Robbie out of the stadium the other night.
Someone got a nick on the face there.
This is not what you want to see.
She's like, someone got a nick on the face there. What is this play-by-play? They're giving play-by-play to the fight like it's hockey.
There were more hits in this game than the friggin' game I had right here with Buffalo.
After people.
It still goes.
Oh my
Man,
God.
both of these teams are bottom-level garbage, too. That's what's funny.
This looks, according to... All right, pause it, Steven. This looks like, if you watch this video, and you go back and you catch Tony's show from Super Bowl week, Friday morning, the morning after the VIP party, this looks like what Tony claims that we did at the VIP party when we got kicked out of VIP. when I was bitching about having to pay $17 for a drink. I haven't had a drink in 20 years.
Wow.
Go ahead, Steven, you can let it keep going. But this Tony should tell the story and say that this was us at the VIP party.
What's the NFL
I'm sure he did it for humor.
Hold
We
me
still
back.
got guys that need to get to the locker room.
Everyone's still rallying here.
You know,
This is not a
shame on you.
basketball game. This is the Spirit Airlines flight to Memphis.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
It's a Christian school, too.
We finally have gotten some people to the locker room, so
That's the Motel
was
6
such
that
a
Robbie
great
will be
game.
staying in when he's in Memphis that night.
ended and
What
right,
is this
Steven, you
depressing
can
Nice
announcing?
and rice.
And as a result, 8 players were suspended from that fight.
Rats.
Wow. All right, I got to get that thing off the screen here.
That's bad.
Where is it, Steven? I'm not seeing it. Why is it still on my screen?
I took it off. It's off on mine.
All right, there I go. All right, so Jeff,
Man, that was fun. That was hilarious right there, man.
you might not want to believe it, Jeff, but
That's
that's
it?
the wrong. Yeah.
What do you mean? We got so much to talk
You
about.
don't want to believe it, but maybe the show is over.
Oh, it's over.
Literally, we got 50 seconds left, so let's thank Jakel for coming on tonight on the Lastella Report, and with Robbie, they did a fantastic job. We're gonna wish Steven all the best on his 37-leg fantasy parlay tonight. Great job, Jeff. Great job, Steven. Great job, Robbie. We'll be back tomorrow night. We're gonna end our week tomorrow night.
That's right.
Right
Hope you
here.
have a great day, Kuwait.
We got Luch on Ice tomorrow night. And yeah, that's it for today.
Let's go. Oh, my jam. You know it.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
I